In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah, today I'm leaving the village of Chiapas and I'm heading back home. And as I'm heading back home, I've been thinking a lot about the kinds of work that needs to be done in this area and in South America in general, and even beyond South America, in North America for the Hispanic community. I don't think we need to go on a preaching campaign of Islam in this region. People just don't know about it. And if we were just able to give people even the smallest bit of information about what this religion is and what it has to offer them, I think people would flock towards it and be extremely interested in it. It's interesting that here I don't see the kind of media outcry against Islam, and I don't think that people have the kinds of preconceived notions about Islam that we tend to find in much of the Western world. And so I see that as a great, great opportunity. Almost every non-Muslim you talk to are genuinely curious about Islam. And they're not curious in a bad way, they just want to know. And so it's a really great opportunity for us to try to go on a campaign to create literature, materials, and even human and financial support to try to further Islamic materials and Dawah in the Spanish language. And especially in countries like Mexico and other countries in the area, there are just absolutely, they're really, really small communities with almost no support at all. And so I feel that we, in the United States especially, and even other parts of the Muslim world, have an obligation to try to support these small communities because we are one body. And we should try to support them as best as we can. One of the things that as I'm leaving here, I realize is a lot of people think that when you accept Islam or when you come to Islam, you have to abandon your culture or you can't be who you used to be anymore. And that's one of the unfortunate preconceived notions that people have about Islam. Islam doesn't get rid of your culture. Islam just comes to get rid of elements that are either frivolous, irresponsible, shameless, indecent, evil. It removes those things from any culture, but it doesn't eliminate the culture itself. The way people eat, the way people talk, the way people dress, it simply just gets refined by Islam, but it doesn't get eliminated or changed by Islam fundamentally. And so that's one of the beautiful things you find here. These people have a unique culture, they have a unique tradition, and yet they're carrying Islam in such a beautiful way, mashallah. So it makes me so inspired and excited that these communities exist, and that Allah Azza wa Jal, with almost no effort of ours, has brought them to Islam, and they've accepted it despite so much difficulty and despite so many challenges. They've accepted it and held on to it, and they're ready to live their lives and pass it on to their children. If we could just help them a little bit in carrying the knowledge of Islam a little better, and then knowing a little bit more about it so they can share its teachings with others a little bit better. And then for all of the others that are curious, if we can just be a part of that support, I think we can really make a serious change in this part of the world. I really honestly think so. So I pray that all of you are, you make dua for this region, and that you, beyond making dua, you do something about it. If you are, for example, if you speak Spanish or if you know Spanish and you'd like to help, I'd like you to volunteer for YSM and find out more about the projects that are happening that are trying to support the Hispanic community, or that are trying to reach out to the Hispanic community. If you don't speak Spanish and you have friends that know, or you'd like to help contribute, please do so, inshallah ta'ala. I think it's, these are the kinds of things that if we, put our work in, Allah will put barakah in our da'wah, in a much wealthier part of the world. We have to care about those that are not going to be a photo op. These people aren't going to be able to afford to come to a convention anytime soon. They're not going to fly out to classes and take courses, and it's not going to happen. We're going to have to come to them. They're not going to be able to come to us. So may Allah Azza wa Jalla help us do that for them. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.